Hey, vinyl community, it's Trevor back with another Flat Round and Spun. Actually, this is going to be part one of two videos doing my top 10 of 2025. First being this video going to be new releases of the year, and then the next one is my top 10 of reissues. So I'm going to try to get through this all right, because just finished watching the Seahawks versus the Colts. Very, very close game. Thankfully, my Hawks made it through last second, so let's continue the celebration, all right? Cheers, BC. Anyway, let's see how much I flub over this thing. It's been a long afternoon. Anyway, so 2025, probably the most I've gotten in new releases in a single year since I worked at a record store, which, you know, at the time was really easy to obtain because it was the 90s, CDs, promos, it was easy. So, you know, now that I'm buying records, it's a bit more, well, obviously a bit more expensive, but, but I actually had enough to qualify to do a top 10. So anyway, let's get going. At number 10, a band that I dug early on and listened to them for a few years, kind of went away, and then my daughter brought me back to them because she got an interest in them. And if you guys saw the video a couple years ago, her and I went and saw them in concert. This is their latest record. They came up obviously this year. Skeleton from Ghost, the hardest album to put on camera because of the reflection on it. Good album. Not a great album, just a good album. Actually, sorry about the dogs. Actually, the artwork on the cover is probably the best part of this. Really cool. To me, it sounds like sonically a continuation of Imperia, their last record, and less inspired. I don't know. To me, that's how it sounds. But yeah, it's okay. I went back to it a few times, but not a whole lot this year. So that's why it's at number 10. Ghost, Skeleton. Oh, by the way, got the purple variant. Next was a very, very long anticipated record from this band. Steve, A is for Alice, B is for Bob, and Gary, Physical Format Rock and Roll. Several months ago, we were supposed to get together and do our review of this record. And, you know, this is the first record they had since 1973. And of course, we're talking about The Revenge of Alice Cooper. Now, when I first got this, I was thoroughly disappointed with it. After several listens, it had grown on me a little bit. Even the first release single, Black Mamba, was a bit annoying with the yeah. That actually grew on me. But the next track, Wild Ones, that one's really good. Up tempo, fast, and it was really cool. But then you got songs like Up All Night, which is like one of those double entendres, like being awake, but also I'm in my 70s and I'm gonna be up all night. Sorry guys, no, we don't need that. And then there's just a lot of songs on here that are just lackluster. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that, you know, most of the original band was able to get together and do this. Obviously, Glenn Buxton passed away several years ago, so he couldn't make it. But, you know, it was cool, but I don't know. It just didn't really do it for me a whole lot. But still a good record. Not a great record, but, you know, maybe someday I'll like it even more. But The Revenge of Alice Cooper at number 9. Coming in at number 8, probably my favorite local band here in the Seattle area. And it's their 3rd full length, and they went with the self-titled. And the band is Year of the Cobra, husband and wife duo, Amy and John. They get lumped into the stoner doom metal genre. To me, they're a bit more hard rock. The first track, what is it? Full Sails, sounds like several songs they've done before, but the other songs on there are a lot better on there. Amy does bass and vocals, John does drums. I still recommend it though. It's still a really good album, hard rocking, great singing, and just groove. I do like the album cover, how they kind of make it look like it's, worn and it's been through the ringer and stuff, but it's really cool though. So at number 8, Year of the Cobra, self-titled. Number 7, it is rare that I get a recommendation that I totally dig from the VC. And I have to give thanks to Emma at 8 Bottle Low on this one. One of her local bands. And of course, me being, old thrash guy, I really latched onto this. And that is Product of the Environment from Misfire. Chicago thrash band, has that very late 80s thrash sound, and it's really, really cool. Glad I got to know these guys. Look forward to future releases. I gotta go back and see what else I got. So it has that, like I said, late 80s feel, thrash metal. I got the cool green and black splatter. Fast and intense. Totally dig it. So, Product of the Environment, Misfire, number 7. Number 6, another one. God, now I sound like one of those DJ guys. What's his name? Fuck it, never mind. I hear one of his taglines. It's another one. They've been away for a long, long time, and this was a big anticipated album from like the New York hardcore metal scene of the 90s into the early 2000s. This is the first album of the original lineup, and that is Divided We Fall by Biohazard. I don't think I showed this in the new releasing. I think I forgot to grab this. But this is probably their heaviest, their angriest album I had ever heard them do, especially at their age. It is intense. Really cool stuff. The breakdowns will tear your speakers apart. They're so good and heavy. I got the half black, half orange. Glad to see them back in action. I really hope they come here to the Pacific Northwest. I'd really like to see them live. It's one of those bands I have yet to see live yet, even though I've been listening to them for well over 30 years. So looking forward to checking out. Number 6, Biohazard, Divided We Fall. And at number 5, going from, hardcore metal stuff to something a bit more groove oriented, more R&B, softer sounding. And that's the latest album from Duran Jones and the Indications, Flowers. I remember saying when this came out that this is probably the sexiest album in my collection. Whereas their early albums was very late 60s, early 70s sounding R&B. This is kind of going into late 70s, maybe early 80s type sound. But yeah, like I said, super sexy sounding, but really cool stuff. Kind of an offshoot of the whole coal mine thing. That's where they kind of started out at. Alex from Beer and Vinyl could attest to that. So that's Duran Jones, Indications, Flowers, number 5. This one might come off as a cheat. It's newly recorded stuff of old songs. Now, I'm going to go by this, and the dogs are going to be barking soon because we got another delivery truck coming through. Cue dogs. Anyway. So, anyway, my channel, my rules. So, this is a new record, newly recorded, but of old songs. But it's The Squirrely Years from Ministry. Ministry, Al Jurgensen, who for years, for decades, dismissed, especially the first album with Sympathy. So I guess he had a change of heart and started embracing that album along with the singles from his Wax Trax years, more electronic, synth pop type stuff. Basically gave it a modern makeover with those songs. Did it with his current band. And it's actually pretty cool. Is it better than the originals? No, but it's still cool nonetheless. A bit more guitar, heavier guitar added on, but still the songs are pretty much the same sounding. So got that on the kind of like the Misfire, the green and black splatter. But yeah, they do with Sympathy stuff and the singles from Wax Trax. I believe on the CD, definitely on the digital, they do some songs from Twitch on there. I wish this could have just been a double album and they could have spread it out more, but yeah, it would have been cool to have the Twitch stuff on here too, but it is not, but still cool nonetheless. Ministry, Squirrely Years, and number 4. Number 3, the surprise of the year. Because when I saw that this artist was putting out a record, I knew her from comedy, and I thought this might have been a comedy record. And it was a music record, but it wasn't like a funny music record. And yeah, it's a really cool pop record. It sounds like it's from 1995. That's the best way I could describe it. And that is Lucky Gift from the comedian Margaret Cho. Yeah, like I said, it sounds like 1995. I don't know how else to describe it. Like kind of like that alternative pop of that day. Someone was asking me, what does it sound like? I'm like, well, it doesn't have a specific sound, but there's one song on here called Baked Bread. It does sound like it would have been Natalie Merchant singing it. So to kind of give you that vibe. So another one, highly recommended, Margaret Cho, Lucky Gift, number 3. And then the next 2 are, if you saw the last video, you'll recognize these. Late release albums that just completely kicked my ass and love them to death. Artists I just found out about a couple months ago and just really dug it. And some people might think once they hear it, they're like, wait, you're into this stuff? Because it's not like hard aggressive stuff, but it's really cool. And like I said in the last video, it's patching from Runo Plum, singer-songwriter, mostly acoustic, not a lot of drums on this album, but it's just a really cool record on the cool olive green. It's just, like I said, the vocals recorded kind of shoegazy a bit, kind of on the Mazzy Star type vibe. But yeah, I'd really recommend checking it out. Runo Plum, patching, coming in at number 2. And then number 1, easily for me, album of the year. Obviously, I got it at number 1. A band I heard about last year, and then they put out their first full length this year. And I had this in the last video too, from Austin, Texas. That's Dice Spitz with their album Something to Consume. In the description I put in the last video, lumped in the punk rock genre, but it's not really punk rock. They go beyond that by so much. They had a metal track, two metal tracks on there. The rest is kind of like in that heavy alternative, kind of like Hole in a way. Again, another record where the vocals sound like shoegaze in a way with a lot of reverb behind it. 3 different singers on here, so the sound is different from track to track. But yeah, this is just a killer record. I played this to death for the last couple months. So Something to Consume, Dice Spitz, my #1 of 2025. So anyway, that's my top 10 of new releases this year, 2025. Some of those, if you're unfamiliar with, please check out. Who knows, you might dig them. And that's a great thing about the internet. You can check these things out, not pay a dime. And if you like it, go and buy it. Support these guys. Anyway, VC, we'll see you soon. Probably in about an hour or so when I post the second video. So anyway, we will talk to you all later. See ya!